Hello and welcome once again to Superconnectivity. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor Esser. And with me, as always, is the Iron Fist, my Foggy Nelson.
Daredevil, fill me in Perch.
Oh, there we go. We'll tie it all back together. Okay, welcome in, Phil. Welcome back to Superconnectivity. Hey, Phil. Did you hear about this new show they have on the streaming video service?
Defend
called,
something?
Yeah, the defensive people. People who like to defend things. Veritable defenders, if you will. How far along are you, Phil?
I watched the first 5 already.
Oh, okay. I'm halfway through the 5th episode. So we are going to avoid. Well, actually, no. I guess we don't have to avoid spoilers because we've already seen the 5. And if you're listening, if you haven't watched up to 5, well, sorry for listening, folks. No, I was going to do a joke. Well, and let me just backtrack here. One thing I really hope we see in Captain Marvel is some kind of crossover with the Hand, where some Kree tech guy, some grunt, some enlisted man comes in and sees what they're using for the regeneration technology and goes, "Oh, wow, you guys are still using an M43 come back alive device? Goodness, I haven't seen one of these things in like 100 years." Yeah, because that is all Kree technology. They're going to tie it to Kunlun, but it's or Kunlun, sorry. Kunlun.
Yeah, but do you think they're actually going to have like mystical elements in Captain Marvel? Do you think that's like one of their big sci-fi movies?
It's not mystical.
Well,
it's just Kree technology. It's found Kree technology. It's stuff the Kree left on the planet, 800 years ago, that they go, "Oh, look at that," back when Istanbul was still Constantinople. Yeah, and here's what I'm going to tell you. This is one of the things I loved about this show. It is such a Seinfeld-centric show. It is just totally Seinfeld with punching. Even having an episode set entirely in a Chinese restaurant. Think about that for a minute. Stick telling Matt he doesn't want his worlds colliding.
Rand, party of 4.
Yes. But yeah, I mean that's what we're looking at here. No. Okay, so I don't want to get too spoilery, but one thing I can say without spoiling is how 2 things. This show is the master of the cliffhanger. I mean, really, this is a really bingeable show. Because you get to the end of one episode and it's just time to watch the next because you got to see what happens next.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the things I thought was really awesome in it was this quality, how, especially in the first episode, you really see it in the first episode, but you do see it more as it goes on, how it's 4 different shows.
Oh, especially that first episode, yeah.
So every time you switch to a different character, the sound cues change, the color palette changes, and of course each character has their own color palette. Luke is yellow, Danny is green, Matt is red, and Jessica is blue. And what is great is as the show progresses, you start seeing everyone else's color palette come into it. Like, Taxi Cab in a scene that's centered around Jessica Jones or Iron Fist, and that Luke Cage is coming into that scene in a bit, Like you'll see, I love this, when Jessica Jones is in the interrogation room and in walks her lawyer, door he walks through, And this whole merging, and one of the things that I noticed is that they also are more moving into kind of a palette of whiteness, where, and I don't mean white, but like not like the color white, but like a more real tone as things sort of come together. Just, maybe more in that Marvel Cinematic Universe vein, where it does have comic book colors, but they're all designed to look like they're in a natural lighting situation. As I always say, the big difference between Marvel and DC films is that, Marvel films happen during the daytime. You sleep at night.
My favorite part of the the color scheme is after Luke and Claire get coffee, he puts on the yellow shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely a man who just got out of prison.
I'm surprised how do I put this? I'm surprised she wasn't injured. I mean, he is a strong individual.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like they were like going light or anything, Uh-oh.
I have no idea what you just said, Phil. You sounded exactly like Hubert for a moment there.
Sorry. No, I was saying technical difficulties. I was going to say it. No, I was just trying. I'm surprised Claire wasn't injured because he's a strong guy and doesn't look like they were going. They weren't going easy, shall we say?
Well, they were ready to have some fun. Like I said, he just got out of prison, man.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm surprised she wasn't injured.
And she hadn't had coffee. Hey, you know what? It's not like the guy doesn't have. It's not like the guy can't pick up an egg.
Yeah, but it didn't look like. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure when the tables are rocking, it doesn't take that much to break a table. That's what I'm going to say.
When the coffee's brewing, don't come a knocking.
Yeah, well, but you realize that with the exception of Trish and Gao, Luke Cage has had relations with every primary female in this series. It's like they're all everyone. And honestly, it's kind of going to be. It's got to be a moment somewhere in this where it's like it's Misty and I'm sorry, he hasn't been with Colleen Wing yet either. But where you have Misty and Jessica and Claire all in a room, and they just all stop for a minute, look at each other, and go, "Oh yeah, I guess we all have that in common, don't we?" But that'll be a tale for another day.
But speaking of Trish, the minute we see her in the first episode, I just heard you in my head singing, "It's Patsy, it's Patsy."
Oh yeah, yes. Well, next Thursday we start the Don't Get Defensive podcast, which, given all the Seinfeld references, seems very appropriate. Don't get defensive. It's a very New York show, and Seinfeld is a very New York show, so it makes perfect sense when you think about it. But yeah, so we're coming into this, and it's a good show. We have this really nice merging of things, and okay, we have to talk about this. Sigourney Weaver being above Gao, and Gao being subservient. Did that freak you out when you saw that? Okay, spoilers, kids, if you didn't know. That's in the first episode.
I thought, oh man, she must be powerful to, throw a scare into Madame Gao. And I was thinking, I was wondering if you're going to bring this up. Do you think they're going to get backlash yet again that the head of the hand is a white woman?
I don't know. Here's what I'll say. The hand has been made very diverse, although I'll say I did see way more white guys than, almost as if this was a comic book movie. Where it's like they center on the white guy next to her, not the black guy next to her, when they have the guys with the swords and they're training the Black Sky, but yeah, it's I'm not quite sure what to make of it all. It hasn't gotten the black backlash yet. They still have Luke Cage in there prominently as the hero. Mm-hmm. They do have Colleen Wing there as a hero as well, although she hasn't done much but get stabbed yet. So
we did get our first meeting of Colleen Wing and Misty Knight. Yeah, let's get that series.
Oh yes. Wait, did we?
They met in the precinct. Yeah.
Is that in episode 5? Was that the end of episode 5?
I can't remember because I watched like 2 through 5 like pretty much all in one sitting. But
yeah. It
might be, unless it's later on in 5 when you didn't see it. But yeah, I do know they do talk really quick.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because I remember we had Claire and Colleen meeting when they bring the two petulant boys together, and that's one thing. Here's what I'm going to say: like, things to annoy you. It's like that. It's a really good show, but there are little things that, like, what I'll say is, if you want to be pedantic, there are things to be annoyed about. And one of the things to be annoyed about is the women always in the mom roles, you know? That is frustrating. Yeah, can you hold for 1 second?
Sure.
Just 1 second.
All right. This is gonna be a good point Charlie's gonna make. You gotta prepare. Nah, something's going on at home. But yeah, share your thoughts with us. We're going to be talking about this on Capes and Lunatics, 2 Defenders. But yeah, after you hear this, if you want to send your Defenders thoughts, especially you new people we haven't heard from, we always have our voicemail, email, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, and our voicemail is 614-382-2737. Part of me this week, here and on Capes and Lunatics, for some reason, I'm like losing my voice, as I'm sure you can hear. Drinking as much as I can. Hopefully it should be getting better. Shh. Get an inside look at the home life of Charlie Esser. And his, and that was Charlie Esser in his native environment.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know how much that you could hear, probably all of it.
No, I was talking over most of it. I told everyone, even after this week, if they want to share their Defenders thoughts with us here or Capes and Lunatics, to hit us up on the voicemail or the email.
Yes, and of course, Don't Get Defensive is coming to I'm sure that'll be on the Capes and Lunatics feed as well.
I would love it. Every time there's more Charlie Esser stuff, I tell Rob put it right here.
Well, don't you already put what would Jessica Jones do, or the Jones cast on your?
I think he just puts it on Enough Said, but I would love to have it.
Oh, hold on, because I know that you guys do Gamma Cast.
Yes, I did fight. I did fight for that, and I mean, I would anything you do, I would love to have right here. But everyone's fighting for Esser.
Yeah, Gamma Cast, I realized this last night because I'm also doing all my podcasts today. I'm doing this, I'm doing Capes and Lunatics after this, and then I'm doing Gamma Cast at noon. Mm. And there's only 4 more episodes, 2 of which we're recording today in the original series. Mm-hmm. Gamma Cast is almost done, and it's a real shock to me.
Yeah, but can you get access to the 3 movies, the 3 TV movies?
Well, yeah, I can always buy the 3 movies. So I'm going to have to talk to Rose about that. Well, the problem is that David White was doing the editing on it, and he is ending the 80s Reboot Overdrive in about 7 weeks. Bless you. And
thank you.
So after that, I'd have to get someone else to do the editing, or it ends. So if you would like to be the editor on the Gamma Cast for 3 more movies, kids, and maybe a few more episodes, because I don't know when he's leaving, but you can join me.
We could probably get Rob or Lilith to do the editing, because, I mean, if you want to keep going with something else, I mean, if you know if there's other old, like, Marvel TV, TV shows or whatever you want to do, I mean, that can become another exclusive property of Capes and Lunatics.
Well, you have the you have the entire 70s canon. You have the Incredible Hulk, you have Captain America, you have Spider-Man.
Do it all.
You have Doctor Strange.
Yes.
There was a whole extended Marvel universe back in the 70s. People forget that. They never tied them together, but that's always that is why it is the most surprising thing to me that when the Batman 66, the Wonder Woman 77, the Man from U.N.C.L.E. series are getting so big right now that Marvel, who is sitting on this great universe with a great character to tie it all together, Jack McGee, doesn't put out a series called The McGee Files, where you do reimaginings of all of these characters as if they were movies in the 70s. I want to see him beat the Man Thing. That's all. Because Jack Colvin knows no fear. So he would not burn at the touch of the Man Thing.
It's called whiskey.
Yes, exactly. That was a Jessica Jones episode. Anyway, my son wants me to find him GarageBand for PC. I told him I would this evening. Well, I don't know if they have GarageBand for Android.
Do they make it for PC?
I don't know. I have to find it. He wants a music program, because he's been swayed by commercials for GarageBand, and he thinks that's the deal and end all. Yes, maybe we can find it for Kindle too.
They probably do some kind of. They probably do some kind of app for like guitar or something. 'Cause I know they have apps where you can like play the piano and stuff.
Yeah, well, he has a music app, but it's not as fancy as the commercials for GarageBand or the YouTube tutorials for GarageBand. So there you go, monkey. Here. No, he loves music. I'd love to get him more musical electronic items, but there are limitations as to what you can do. But he's got his heart set on Apple products. Frustrates the heck out of me.
Stabbed his father right in the heart.
Born a PC man.
He's succumbing to the man.
Pepsi too. I don't know what to do.
Hey, I don't drink. I haven't drank soda in years, but when I did, I was Pepsi over Coke.
Yeah, that's okay. At the anyway, back to
Defenders.
Back to the Defenders. Okay. Here's one thing I gotta mention because it is kind of an annoyance to me. Stick cuts off his own hand. If you want to get out of cuffs and you're going to cut something off, you only have to cut off your thumb.
Yeah, or don't you think he would at least know how to dislocate his thumb so you don't have to cut it off? Can't you just dislocate it? Honestly, not for nothing. It's like, dude, how have you lived this long and don't know how to get out of a pair of standard handcuffs? Because it's not even like these are like, crazy, when you see them in the comic books and it's like the whole hand cuff where the entire hand is like a muff, and locked in there, which superheroes still get out of. So, I don't know how useful those are. But yeah, he's just handcuffed to a pole, and it's like, heck, just that he doesn't have like some kind of crazy thing to break out of cuffs, or even, I have a sword. Maybe I should use the steel from the sword to break the chain of the cuffs. I guess, I don't know. When you're immortal, you don't care. Take my hand.
I guess so. And obviously, I guess he's pretty dang immortal. Though not as immortal as Alexandra, which I think we all knew. And man.
Although not for long. She's not.
Yeah, well, yeah. So that's the big reveal of the first episode is apparently this Kree technology that keeps you alive forever doesn't keep you alive forever. And when it starts to break down, it breaks down hard.
Well, plus too, if it's Kree, Kree technology or whatever, it might not work completely on humans. But she got how many centuries or thousands of years of life?
Yeah, and it's not for nothing. It's like it's like a million-year-old Kree technology.
Yeah.
So it's like stuff that they've been keeping together with spit and baling wire, and it's like which is why I'm sure Elektra, isn't as perfectly mind-wiped as they thought she'd be. And of course, even beyond that, although I'll tell you something, it's a very great point in this about the interaction between the other, because they're called the hand because they are the 5 fingers, and Alexandra's the thumb, I guess. So we're going to call her Thumbkin. And they're going to cut off that thumb by the end of the series to get out of that cuff that the heroes have put them in.
I'm surprised they're not trying to. I'm surprised she isn't trying to like transfer her mind into Elektra's body. Even before she resurrected her. Some. Yeah, well, they may not have thought of that yet.
They may not be able to do that. In all honesty, it's like, oh well, okay.
Especially when she used the last of their Black Sky potion on, to resurrect her.
Yeah, well, I think, and like I said, I think it's the same potion they use in everybody. And I think that it was kind of like the thing is like, you like really said, oh, we got to get a Black Sky. We got to get a Black Sky. Use the last of our resources to get one.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder if anyone can come back from the dead now.
Well, if they had that potion or whatever, but they said they ran out.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, yeah, well, obviously they make it, and like I said, to me, what the obvious thing is that they have to get. Like, the obvious reason is they are extracting inhuman growth serum from people's blood who have inhuman potential, refining it through this system. And they probably don't even know what they're doing.
Mm.
But that's why I think it would be great to actually have someone come in and just say, oh, no, actually what you're doing is this, Yeah. You know, have Fitz and Simmons come in and say, "Oh yes, this is just like the home base protocol." Yes, although why you go through all these extra steps? All you need is that piece of DNA right there, and that's gonna bring it right back to life. It'll drive you mad, unless of course you already have human DNA.
The Hand kidnaps Coulson, trying to extract more, get more, create more black skies from his blood or whatever, his DNA.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. I'll take it. I'll work with it. No, I mean, we'll see what happens when we get to the big Inhumans series. Which,
oh man, they're already making excuses. I mean, you saw that. I sent that link to that article this week, right? They're saying we didn't have a lot of time and we had a tiny budget. So now I'm really worried because they're already making excuses. And
that was Josh Trank on the Fantastic Four all over again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Although what I'll say is, and in defense of it, is that Marvel hasn't been pushing back the way that Fox pushed back on Trank. We're saying he was stoned and in a tent the whole time. So obviously they know what it is they know that their bar was set really high.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I think they might be doing. They're trying to lower expectations.
Yep.
So that when it comes out, they go, "Oh, actually, that was pretty good. That was a really decent story. The special effects weren't that bad, and it's going to get assessed like a Netflix show." Honestly, it wasn't their choice to do it all in IMAX. That was ABC. No, it was actually IMAX did that. That IMAX said, "We want to showcase how great IMAX is, so we're going to pay to shoot in IMAX." And they're like, "Okay, are you going to pay for the special effects to do it in IMAX?" He goes, No, we're just going to give you the cameras. Like, okay. Don't know if this was the best idea you ever had, IMAX. Because IMAX is the most expensive ticket.
Oh, yeah.
It's, And here's what I'm going to say is what's going to save the story, what's going to save the Inhumans is if when you're watching it, it's actually really well acted and well written. No, it could be really well acted.
Yeah.
It could even be decently written. As good as any comic book movie.
Are you gonna give it a pass if the if the story and the acting are there, but the special effects are like total poop?
Yeah, I totally will. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to worry that much about the special effects. Because here's the thing, I'm not going to pay for an IMAX ticket. I'm going to wait for it to come on ABC. I'm going to live tweet it on ABC. I'm going to say, sure God, I didn't pay extra to see, Medusa's limp and lovely hair. Because, I mean, the Medusa thing was a problem for them from the start. And it was going to be a problem for them. And you know what I actually think it might have been is I think that maybe the director didn't know what to do with the hair. It's actually kind of a thing about translating comic books to movies. When you think about qualities of a comic book design, the wings on Captain America's head, Batman or Superman's cape, or anybody's cape, cavalier boots, are to imply motion on a static image.
Yeah.
So you have them there, and when you see the wings, it gives you a sense of visual movement. The thing is that in a movie, you actually use movement to show movement. So if you're used to thinking about movement as movement, you don't need to show as much movement. So for Medusa, you just have her hair up, and you just imagine it moving constantly. Mm-hmm. But you go to a movie, and now we actually have to have it moving constantly. It's like, well, how do we do that, and how do we make it not look stupid? And they kind of went for what I think, like I can imagine what they were thinking is that her hair should be motionless. Mm-hmm. It is a living hair, and it's only going to move when she wants it to. Meaning that it's a front brain thing, not a back brain thing. Now, to me, and to most comic book people, we always think about stuff like that as being very back brain. And like I said, a great example of this is Dr. Octopus in the second Spider-Man film, where the things are moving independently because they are their own thing, and it's interacting with him. That's all very back brain. It's like he's not always even thinking about what they're doing. It's just all instinctual. What they're doing is they're saying that her hair isn't instinctual. It holds itself still until she moves it, and then it's going to be like, it'll be like a cobra. So they do a lot of stuff like that, which is like, boom, 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 where like it only moves like for like a half a second, but you get that sense of blur of motion. That could be good. That could be a good way to do it. Like I said, I wanted to see that in a trailer. You just give me one scene of that where she's just standing there, her hair is motionless, and she goes like boom, 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 boom. And that is going to be a good trailer. That's going to be your action.
What do you think? That's part of the reason they said this week, we had a limited budget and limited time. Is you're going to be like, well, the hair special effect isn't there, or isn't what it could be.
Yeah, well, what it is they had limited creativity. And if you have limited creativity, doesn't matter how much budget you have, doesn't matter how much time you have, you're not going to make it better. Creativity is what lets you take something that is on a lesser budget, like, say, an Iron Fist, and make it into an okay show. Mm-hmm. Iron Fist has its detractors, but I think that its story won out at the end. I think. Yeah. Of course, I'm in the bag for Marvel from the start, so it's like, what else am I going to say? But I felt that it was a tough story to sell, but I felt they did a decent job on it. Like I said, I think the biggest problem for Inhumans is that someone decided to make it an IMAX film, and it's like, oh, sweetheart, this ain't an IMAX film. Guardians of the Galaxy is an IMAX film, and it's not to say that Inhumans couldn't be an IMAX film, but not if you do it on a TV budget.
No.
As an example, if they had just said, well, we're going to release it in theaters first, we're doing this theater thing, where you can go a week before and be the first to see it on a big screen, I think that might have worked. But when you go and say, well, it's going to be an IMAX movie, you're really implying a lot about what this film is going to be.
Especially the special effects. Yeah.
Now, what you could have in that is you could have a lot of movement. You got to remember that the original IMAX films were tours to the Grand Canyon, and I used to love those. And maybe they're going very old school with that, and that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like swooping shots of the moon, In which case, maybe you're going to say, oh, that IMAX was totally worth it. I don't know. I didn't make this film, and I don't know what it's going to be. But like I said, no matter what it is, what's going to make this good or bad is going to be what the story is. And if the story is good, it will be a good show. If the story is bad, doesn't matter how good the effects are. It doesn't matter how good the acting is. Well, no, I mean, actually, some good actors can raise bad writing. It happens. But it's not going to be a good film if it's not well written. But obviously they're backpedaling because obviously they're not happy with the product. Or we're not going to be happy with it. And that's, I think, and right now they're in this tough spot because they have made this film. It's not like they can recast Batman,
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
Did you hear that whole thing that whole thing this week? Casey Affleck was like, "Oh yeah, Ben's not coming back," and then everyone had to rush and say, "No, he was just kidding. He was just kidding."
Well, I gotta think that Ben does feel kind of like the Donald Trump of the comic book cinematic universe right now, in just that, everybody he got a lot of support, and then all of a sudden it all turned on him, and he doesn't know quite how to deal with everyone suddenly turning on him. And he doesn't know how to make people not turn on him because, for what it's worth, Ben Affleck has never been in a situation where people just totally turned on him,
Well, then when your ne'er-do-well brother says, oh, no, he's not coming back, and everyone's like, no, shut up.
I don't know if he is or not. I don't know if he's still writing things, if he's still directing anything. I think, like I said, I think that Ben Affleck has had bad luck with superhero films. I think he gets put in these situations where someone is trying to do something and then everyone blames him that it didn't succeed. Even though, honestly, I thought Ben Affleck was really good in Daredevil. Mm-hmm. I thought with maybe the exception of Bullseye, just didn't buy as an Irishman. That's me. That's my weird thing. It's like, Bullseye's not Irish? What is this? This is Southern Californian washing. I don't know. But aside from that, I thought it was very well acted, and I thought the story was not horrible. It's Daredevil versus Kingpin. What more is there to want? And I did like Michael Clark Duncan's Kingpin. He was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It was a fantastic Kingpin, and I do think D'Onofrio, but I think they were very different Kingpins. Michael Clark Duncan was definitely a much more gregarious Kingpin.
He had the physicality too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, D'Onofrio has physicality as well. I mean, not as much. I mean, Michael Clark Duncan, the man was a very physical actor.
Yeah.
I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio has physicality, but he does it in a different way. He does it in a very controlled and internal way. Mm. D'Onofrio's Kingpin doesn't bluster. Whereas Michael Clark Duncan's Kingpin was definitely a blusterer. He was your classic comic book villain. He's big and he's bold. Who would have made a great Doctor Doom? But yeah, that's that. Also in Netflix, I haven't actually gotten the chance to. It's like I keep on trying to click on it, and like for whatever reason, every time I try to click on it, I don't have time to watch it. There is a Punisher teaser trailer out.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I haven't seen it yet, but I did see they said it's what did they say? It's like at the end after the credits or something or
Defenders?
I thought they said it was.
I thought it was some YouTube.
I thought they said it was somewhere on Defenders. Maybe it's after the last episode or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, good for that. I mean, I'm looking forward to that. Maybe we'll get Bullseye in the Punisher. That would be neat. Yeah, I'm a little sad. David Walker on Facebook said that he was ready for his Netflix. And I told him, I said, and he didn't like my comment. And I felt sad. I said, well, we've got Jeremy Renner and Gabrielle Dennis. Who do you want for Red Wolf and Mr. Fantastic to make Occupy the series happen?
And he didn't like it?
Well, he didn't not like it. He didn't react to it.
Ah, okay.
The only time he's ever reacted was when I said everyone needs to write into Marvel Comics to say how awesome Occupy Avengers was, and he liked that, because he wouldn't, because Occupy Avengers is a great series and he's a great writer. And not for nothing, Marvel. As I'm looking at my pile, I did see Superb last week. It was issue 2 of Superb, which is one of his independent series. I was like, that does look good. So I may be picking that up, and that's one less Marvel book I buy, Marvel. Remember that. Only you can keep me from reading independent comics, Marvel. Only you.
But yeah, they ended another favorite of ours, the Ultimates.
Yeah. Was that the end, or is there one more?
No, one more. There was a page in the back where the writer was saying, he said this was a good place to stop because they renumbered it issue 100 and it was like close to Jack Kirby's 100th birthday. What would have been Jack Kirby's 100th birthday. And
did they actually save the universe at the end of it? When did we end it? Yeah, that's right. Galactus and his Celestials, and then that's right. Because Ego goes back to being a planet again. Mm-hmm. He lost his body. He was like, "Oh man, that was annoying having a body." Know how people deal with that?
They free Eternity.
Yeah. That's right. Okay. Yeah, it was a good episode though. It was a good issue. And then the original Ultimates go off to explore other dimensions, and without Captain America. Although you know what I loved about that was that even though Ultimate Captain America is your more violent, fascistic Captain America, he was still an actual Captain America.
Yes.
Where he stopped and listened to, well, wait a minute, we don't listen to you, freaking maker. I'm starting to remember that you're not the nicest guy either. So why don't we take a minute? He even does the thing where this A doesn't stand for France, just to show him being a dipwad as he is known to be. But he actually pulls it out and says, no, I'm Captain freaking America. Mm-hmm. I may be rough around the edges. I may be loud and obnoxious. But the fact of the matter is, I do what's right when all other options have been exhausted, And I think that is a great metaphor for America in our current age where, we do stupid stuff, but there are lines that America doesn't cross. And there are lines that I think that's what we're seeing right now with all these people that are rising up saying, hey, it's our country now again. And a lot of other Americans saying, no, sir, you're mistaken. And I think that's a good thing. But that's me. That's how I think. Okay. Any final thoughts on tonight's episode of Superconnectivity, Phil. Anything else you want to talk about? I did read Thor, even though I left it at work. I actually had to go do the digital version of it. That was good. Oh, and I will, to your statement, Phil, Red Hood and the Outlaws was amazing last week.
Told you.
It was a nearly perfect book. I'm not sure how spoilers. I'm not sure how Super Genius Bizarro is going to work out. I don't know if we're going to be doing a Flowers for Algernon thing, or he's just going to be Super Genius Bizarro going forward. And is he going to still be the same lovable Bizarro? It's going to be interesting. I will probably pick up the next issue of Red Hood and the Outlaws because of that.
Nice.
Yes. I want to see what's going to go, man. And again, Marvel, only you can prevent me from reading DC books. Only you. Yes. Gwenpool was good. And what else came out this week? I still haven't read my Superman, so I have to read that still.
It was good. It was way better than a history lesson.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I don't know if this little kid is powered by Parallax or Mixoplex, because I saw him and he's got the yellow footprints, and then he also has a big M on his hat, and he's a small person. So I'm like, wait, is that supposed to be Mixoplex? Is it supposed to be Parallax? I haven't finished reading it yet, but I did buy it in hopes that it's either Mixoplex or Parallax or Paroplex. Mixalax. I can't wait to see it. And and also apparently they said the name of the Joker, and it's spoilers. Did you hear this? I love you too, Benny.
Hello.
There's Benny.
Hello.
Yeah, I guess in the White Knight Batman series, they give the true name of the Joker, and it's Jack Napier.
Yeah. I think they said. I mean, that's an Elseworlds thing, but I think
it's an Elseworld.
Yeah, it's kind of like if the 1989, Jack Nicholson version of the Joker,
was the real Joker
became Saint. I think it's more like he's kind of the good guy, and he has to fight this evil Batman. I don't know.
Oh yeah, well, Batman is evil. Oh, and speaking of Batman is evil, did you love in the Royal Dragon episode again about our Seinfeldiness? The total call out of what a jerk Batman is when they're deriding when Luke Cage is having his conversation with Danny Rand about you're just you're just a billionaire white boy who's going and beating up on people who are just trying to feed their families, and that's all Batman is, man. Those hench clowns, they got kids at home. They got little clowns. They got to feed, man. And one thing you can always say about the Joker, he has a great dental plan. You hench for the Joker, you get good dental. And, Susie, she's got orthodontia coming up. And, get punched in the narge by Batman to get your kid's teeth straightened. She'll do it, It's not like, that billionaire Bruce Wayne is investing in the local economy, building factories for people to go get real jobs at. No. All that money, what's he doing? How's he reinvesting it into the Gotham economy? No, he's not building affordable housing, not building good schools.
Nothing.
Nothing. He spends it all on toys. Those wonderful, wonderful toys. So what other growth industry is there in Gotham aside from hench clowning? Really, it's it's got your choice. You can be a hench clown. You can be a puffin. You can be I don't know what the Riddler's people were called. Quislings, I guess. To me, my Quislings. Quislings attack. There we go. Yeah, that would be awesome. But they totally call out how if you're a billionaire guy who punches, muggers, you're kind of a jerk. I mean, yes, you shouldn't be a mugger. Although that was one of the things I found most fascinating about Defenders at that very start is how much kind of emphasizing that as much as we love that street level hero, they are still overpowering. So when we first see Daredevil come back, he's chasing after a guy who's going to shoot these kids, but these kids were breaking into his store, were stealing TVs. Mm-hmm. These kids were clearly the criminals. And Daredevil's he's kind of and obviously the guy's a bad guy because he's shooting these kids. Mm-hmm. But it's like, this is not who we should be. This is not who superheroes need to fight.
Yeah.
This is not what superheroes need to do. And then again with Danny Rand, and I knew as soon as the, Colleen Wing and the guys come in and start spraying everything, I was like, oh yeah, these guys are just the cleanup crew. I was surprised any of them put up a fight. I was like, dude, we're just the crew, man. We just clean. We don't fight. That's not our gig, But I guess that's why they hire, guys that are probably borderline criminals to do the work, because they got enough ego that they're going to want to fight. So, okay. Final thoughts, Phil?
Well, check out this week's Capes and Lunatics too, because we'll definitely be talking Defenders there also with Tyler and Will. So,
yes, get more opinions.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you would like to leave us your thoughts via voicemail, quick and easy voicemail, you can call us at, is it 832?
614-382-2737.
That's 614-38-CAPES. There we go. 614-38-CAPES. Maybe there was a 382 in there somewhere, but numbers, their orders, who knows? And of course, you can always write to me in the old-fashioned email way, the way our moms and pods did, at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. And follow me on Twitter as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Inhumans, and stuff's coming back. So maybe we'll get a Gotham in there. Maybe we'll get a Flash or Legends of Tomorrow. Who knows? Gotta fight the dinosaurs. At Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEsser. Look for 2 E's right there in the middle for quality. Phil?
If you want to get a hold of me, it's nightwingpvp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at nightwingpvp. And if you want to get a hold of us for any of the Capes and Lunatics, of course, it's capesandlunatics@gmail.com. And like we said, voicemail, please. We love voicemails. 614-382-2737.
That's 38K.
Yes.
How to use that Transylvania 65000 stuff.
Branding.
What's the point of having the special number if we don't say the word?